All righty, how's everybody doing? It is a great Friday. Um, I'm excited. I don't know about y'all. I had so much fun last night that it was literally ridiculous. If you don't know what it is that I'm talking about, we had the book release party last night, and it was like none other book release party that you have ever seen in your life. We had some great fun, man. We had some great fun, great dialogue. Um, and saying that, I have to give a special thank you to the frequency, specifically Coffee and Cream uh, morning show host, Miss Lady Latina, as well as Mr. Gaddafi, King Gaddafi, for hosting and being a part of the event. Got to give a shout out as well to Mr. Tony Exum Jr., who was out there on some panty droppers without even singing. It's like what in the world is going on, man? When but he did his thing. He definitely did his thing, and definitely got to give a shout out to my aunt David. He was with me all day, running me around, and, from getting haircuts to make sure we had everything prepped. Helped me set up. Jesse did basically everything that to help get everything set up for yesterday and get everything set up. And of course, I definitely got to give a shout out to Pastor Kevin, part of GMAP Productions, for taking the live stream that we actually did and putting it on his broadcast. Um, amazing, amazing. The word is getting out there. Um, everything's just going up, just going up. Not gonna put everything out there just yet. Gotta make sure everything is lined up the way that it's supposed to be. But we got some stuff going, and I'm not gonna give the next piece for tomorrow. I'm gonna let D tell us about that one right there. But we do have something special that's going to take place on tomorrow. On tomorrow, you need to make sure that you be with us. Go ahead, give them the good news, and when you give them the good news, uh, go ahead, give us a topic as well.
All right, so the good news is, for some of those that was watching Wednesday, I was a special guest on a podcast called Occasionally Posh. So with that being said, we
Is that me? Did I just freeze?
Hey,
the power of the tongue, speaking things into existence. The reason
So
why
hold up a second. Can you hear me?
yeah,
Was I frozen or something? Because I didn't hear anything that you said.
me neither.
okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Evidently, my finger
Take it
was
from
over
the
the mute.
top.
Boy, I be hating that. I'll try this again. So for those who were able to catch Wednesday night, I was on a podcast called Occasionally Pop. With that being said, we was supposed to have some female guests last month in around the time when the book Can I Be the Man first came out. So with that being said, we have two females joining the panel tomorrow. We are working on the topic for that, but it's about to be epic. But with that being said, today the topic is the power of the tongue, speaking things into existence. And the reason why I chose this topic because as I was watching King Naib book release party last night, it was just wonderful knowing how everything came about, watching the whole process. He spoke about it plenty of times that I was there when he first started writing the book. And by me, I don't want to say it was just inspirational, but it was, but just watching it, being a part of the process, just seeing him say, I'm going to write this book. He wrote the book. He said everything that he said that he was going to do, he ended up doing. It was breathtaking to me. So that's the topic of the day. So how do you feel about last night?
So how do I feel about last night?
How did you feel about last night?
Man, I feel great. I really do. Especially considering, there were a lot of faces there that I did know, but there were even more that I didn't know. You had people that didn't even know what was going on. They didn't know about no book release party or anything of that nature. But when they got up in there and seen what was going on, they stayed for the duration. For the duration, we were supposed to stop at 8 o'clock, and even the owner was so into it that he just let me keep going. Just let me keep going, and on top of that, they offered for us to be able to do it on a regular basis, so to see all these platforms literally just opening up, and to know that literally my struggle is not just my struggle, it's our struggle. So to be able to bring some peace to that is something else. But I had too much fun. I had all my coaches from the gym was up in there, or my brothers that was in there, the people that was online. The online was crazy because I couldn't even see what was going on online. By the time I got to my phone, I had like 100 notifications. I'm like, man, what in the world? And even the live was lit. So I mean, I still haven't went back and watched it. I got to go back and watch it. And if y'all know me, I go back and watch everything it is that we actually do, just to critique what it is that we actually do. So for me, it was crazy. And then to meet Rika, who definitely kept things going, or not, but it was definitely something else, man. I can't even front on it at all. Like, it's just crazy. Can't even. But it was motivation to get me to keep moving forward, man. That much I will say. A lot of motivation to keep moving forward, keep driving forward, and to know that what it is that we actually doing right now, to get me to keep what it is that we doing right now is exactly what it is that we supposed to be doing. Exactly what we're supposed to be doing. And that was I think the best confirmation. Like you said, you was right there with me in the hotel room when I first started writing the book. So to sit back and see all these things starting to come into fruition, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful, beautiful thing.
All right, so let me ask you this.
Okay.
I'll get the lead in a minute. So what part does your wife and the people in your close circle play a part in your newfound success?
They play the biggest role that anybody can play. For me, they are just as important as everything. At the end of the day, we wouldn't even be here talking right now had it not been for the wifey. Hey, April, how you doing? Hey, look, I need you to tell your husband to call me. Thank you, thank you. But the wifey was the inspiration for the book. She was the inspiration for it. A-Team, I can't even, I can't, you can't say, can I be the man, a letter from us to you, without saying A-Team. You just can't. Just about everyone within the A-Team has done or impacted the book. Case in point, let me break some stuff down. I'm gonna put some people out there, okay? Put some people out there. So you. You know what I'm saying? The book wouldn't even be here had it not been for you. Or now you're the one, and that literally, and what I'm saying, I'm saying D. D is the one that literally financed this stuff. So for all of y'all that are reading the book and stuff right now, thank him, because had it not been for him, you wouldn't be reading it right now. Lee, Lee put one of the most dynamic forwards that you can doggone think of or whatnot. And the thing about it is the audiobook is not even open. Or now I was sitting back talking about how Tony Exum was on some panty dropper type stuff. But wait till you hear him read that doggone forward. I'm so serious. And speaking of the audio version, you know, and you had Chris, who's not able to join us today. You had Chris, he did the entire audio book for free. For free. And you got Lamar that did the commercial. And through that doggone commercial, we talking about 17,000, over 17,000 views. And we always said that all we needed to come across was one individual. And that commercial led me to that one individual that got things going skyrocketing like right now. You know, and I'm telling you, Trail, you have doggone James did the logo. It's so many people in the group. I can even Chance, the Joker bought 10 books off the rip. And like I was talking about the other day, I think I was talking with you D in reference to this the other day, but he didn't hit me up like, yo, I know you're getting them joints wholesale. Let me get them at a discounted price. No, he bought it at the price everybody else is purchasing that. So, you know, as far as the A-team, for those that don't know what the A-team is anointed together, encouraging all men. You know what I'm saying? You have us scattered all about the United States right now. And then everybody and their grandma sharing, liking, pushing, promoting. I talked about David, you know what I'm saying, earlier, giving him his thanks. And then when you start looking at and the other people that are just coming into the circle, you got Lady Latina. It gave me an opportunity when nobody was even thinking about giving me an opportunity. You know, to be able to have a podcast and being able to promote and things of that particular nature. Everybody in the circle for me, everybody in this circle for me is the embodiment of what BBOC is. The essence of what BBOC is. What we are doing right now is the essence of what BBOC is. Everyone working together for the benefit of everyone. And the thing about it is, it has been nothing but genuine. Nobody looking for anything in return, just genuinely happy and proud to see my hard work becoming a success. And you don't come across that too often. You know, I'm over here about to get emotional and shit. I don't even know why you asked this question. I'm over here about to get emotional and stuff because, you know, I'm sitting back and I'm thinking about this stuff, right? I'm sitting back thinking about where we are at right now and where I know we are going to. You know, and there is, matter of fact, I'm gonna put this out here. Tay, I ain't talked to you. I'm gonna talk to you in a little while. But you are at the core of this thing. Because had I not met you, there would be no 18 for me. There would be no 18. All the stuff that I'm talking about right now, this book that it is that we're talking about right now, would not exist would not exist. So y'all got to excuse me because I am getting a little emotional right now. It's cool. It's cool, you know. I talked about this last night about us having emotions and stuff. So y'all gonna look, y'all gonna bear with me. I'm gonna have my emotional moment because last night was like send off for me. How you doing, Rika? Thanks for coming out last night. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. We really do. Oh, they asking in the chat when we gonna let women on. Y'all make sure y'all follow us
Tomorrow. It's going down tomorrow.
Yes, it's going down tomorrow. Going down tomorrow. So there it is. Y'all got it, ladies. Y'all got it.
Oh, my bad. Hold on. It's going down tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes. 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Too easy.
You know, I want to say something. A lot of people, you said, you know, all of these people sewing into you, not looking for anything in return, just for the embetterment of the whole totality of everything. I need people to understand that's not by coincidence. If people got a real inside look, like D and I have on you, Naib, people would really start to understand why a different strategy brings a different result. You got so much discipline, man. You got so much stick-to-itiveness. When the opportunity is there for you to do something wrong, you always take the high road. Like it's like you understand and embrace suffering. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. A lot of people are looking for the glory and they're looking for the shortcut. But I would say, and I know D would second this, you know, you embody discipline. You do what you're supposed to do. You do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. And you give it all that you can give it. And you're not so interested in partaking in a lot of the other shit that a lot of people go out there to try to have live to the life fullest moment. And I just want to say thank you for being leading by example on not living life to the fullest, but living a full life, because it is a difference. So that's why all of that stuff's happening to you, man, because there is no way that you can sow, whether you believe in God, whether you believe in the universe or anything. The laws of seed time and harvest is the same all around the board. We got living witness to that, and we got plenty of examples of that. The reason that this shit happening for you the way that it's happening for you is because of the stuff that people don't see that you're doing behind the closed doors. And you don't share a lot with a lot of people because you kind of a reserved person in that respect. But D has known you for a long time, and I've known you for a long time. So we kind of privy to what other people can't see, that you're not trying to get any glory for. So that's why the stuff happening for you like it is.
You said
You breaking up, D.
That is something that you their role, to their part. Play your part. So in addition to that, I want to ask you, Lee. So with you getting your business off the ground, what was the driving force behind that?
Man, the driving force behind me getting my business off the ground is when I got married. I mean, a wise man once told me just before I got married, if you want something, act like you already have it. And that's how you pull it from the supernatural realm to the natural realm. So when I started acting like I was married, it started by me holding a job even though I didn't like to. Because if a job didn't work for me, I would always just quit. And I just made a decision that I was going to stick to it. And then even though that when I decided I was going to do that, I started going through hell. I still stuck through hell. And that proved to myself, that I could do that, because that was something, if I was going to have to generate income and be a person that had provided good resources to a family if I just so desired to have one, and I wanted one. I was getting older and I wanted one. And when I started my business, it was really, I don't want to say the fear of failure, but I did not want my wife and my children to, I really didn't want my wife and my children to ever come to me and say, hey, Daddy, I'm hungry. What we're going to eat or what we're going to do. So that kept me going. That made me push as hard as I possibly could. I knew that 40 hours a week wasn't going to be enough. I had to be like on call 24/7. So that's what pushed me.
Let me ask this. What sustains you? What keeps you going?
Those pretty little smiles that I see. I mean, that's easy. That's so easy. My children look at me like I'm a superhero, and I want to keep that going, because if they can believe in me, then that weeds out a lot of bad choices for them when they get older and they looking for a man. I want to be the kind of man that they want to marry. And that's not by chance. That's integrity. That's doing things when nobody's watching the right way. Because what you do in the dark, it is going to somehow make its way to light. You better hope that what's coming to light is going to be good. That's why there's so much talk about character, discipline, integrity, honesty, stick-to-itiveness. In any kind of organization that's successful, they saying and barking the same thing all over again. And people spend tens of thousands of dollars at seminars to hear the same thing. It's no secret to the formula. If you really want to know the formula to be successful, then do what the successful people do. And they all say the same damn thing. Get up. Don't quit. Put one foot in front of the other. The first thing you got to do is get out of bed and put your foot on the ground. And once, it's a funny thing. Once you take one step, you can't not take another step. The momentum is going to carry you. And you'll find out that doing what you're supposed to do initially is hard, but it becomes an autopilotness, if you will, to it once you get going. And I know all of you can relate to that.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with you there. Because my kids is the exact same way. I can't say whether they look at me as a superhero or not, because they definitely think they are. But
especially the boys, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, just seeing the glow, just seeing their glow, even watching them do some of the stupid stuff that we used to do. You know, I live for stuff of that nature. I live for it. And you know, it's feeling. It's feeling. And I understand exactly why. That's the driving force, what keeps you going. Because it makes you want to do more. You know, even for me, it makes me want to be successful, so I can free up time. So I can free up time to be able to spend more time with them, create more memories, more moments, It's just, it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. But D, you need to answer the same question.
What's the question?
The question you asked us?
Kind of trying to remember what I even asked, man. I had a phone call.
What?
If you notice in the video, I had dropped off their book. So somebody just bought a book, so I had to come bring it to them. But the reason why I asked y'all this question because they say that behind every great man is a great woman. I know y'all heard the cliche. So mine is kind of different at the moment. You know, I'm still living the single life. I'm living the single. Anyway, but I'm just curious at the fact because, like I said, like with wrong situations, I've definitely seen a difference between his past relationship to now. And I've heard you lead. I've heard you speak about your last marriage in comparison to this one. So I was just trying to get a better understanding. Well, not a better understanding for me, but let the listeners get a better understanding on what's the difference between your past marriages to now. Like, what is it?
Well, yeah, let me just say this in response to that, D. A wife is like and I'm gonna use, you know what? I'm gonna infuse boxing into this because somebody I know will appreciate this. Marriage, a wife is like a set of ribs. Okay, if you have a bad set of ribs, everything inside, all of your organs inside of you are in danger. But if you have a good set of ribs and you're a man and you appropriately cover and protect yourself, and the boxer and the enemy comes in and tries to hit you, man, that doggone joker can shatter their hand. Am I right or am I wrong?
Right.
So when you find, so what is a good set of ribs? Well, that's a woman that wants to operate in the capacity in which she was designed to operate in. Now, I ain't talking about these women out here that's trying to identify with and conduct themselves and carry themselves with all of this masculine energy of some sort. I'm talking about a woman that recognizes her femininity, embraces herself, embraces the whole process of being a woman, and wants to be that to a man that can appreciate and protect her. Because a woman doesn't want to be that unless she knows she's going to be protected. And a lot of dogs and trash out there are making it hard for good men, for women to put their guard down so that they can be that. That's why this book ties into it in terms of men are going to have to not only get in the position, but they're going to have to perform. And that's why I said that men need to focus and concentrate on getting themselves together, no matter how much they like the draws. They got to get themselves together to the point where they can be something to someone on autopilot. And a lot of times when you meet a man or a woman, you're not really meeting them, you're meeting their representative. And when you meet their representative, they already know the sales tactics because they look around them and they see this is what it takes to get a man. But if that's not what's in there, if that's not what's in the structure of who they are, they're going to depart from that when the honeymoon phase is over. And you're going to end up being emotionally invested into somebody that's giving you trash. So men got to work on making sure that they can take care of themselves, no problem whatsoever. That they got extras to take care of somebody else. There are statistics. You can go to blackdemographics.com. They got all kinds of statistics and stuff like that. They tell you how much it costs to take care of a child per year. They tell you how much it costs to take care of an individual per year. They tell you how much it costs to take care in a couple per year. You need to, if like I did before I got married the second time, if you want a wife and you want children and things of that nature, whatever it is you want, whether you want one wife or whether you want multiple wives, or whether you want one child or you want a bunch of children, you need to understand, based on the economics, based on inflation happening every 3 to 4 years, and based on the cost of living doubling every 20 years, how much money you need to be able to do that. Because I'm sorry, money is going to play a part, and you got to have a strategy, and you got to have the ability to make it manifest itself so that you can, because a man is measured the man is measured not like a woman, but a man is measured in the dating market by his resources and what he can do and his vision. And ain't nobody gonna believe in you from what you just saying you're gonna do. You're gonna have a resume of what you've already done. So that's how you weed out finding you a good woman and not so good woman. Because a good woman, even a woman that ain't got her act together, if you are a catch, because women are the prize, but men are the catches. But if you are a catch, a woman will begin to shift for you. And if she do it long enough, she'll get on autopilot about it. You just got to be patient enough to let the process take its course. And I do believe men are supposed to hunt, okay? But to a degree, there are certain things that men are supposed to attract to them. And I feel in some cases, that's women too. If you're doing what you're supposed to do, you put yourself in a certain position, you're going to get around a different type of caliber of women. And a lot of times we want to turn treasures out of trash, and no disrespect to some women out there. Okay. But with the way things have been going and conducted, men and women can be trash or conduct themselves less than what they actually are supposed to be. So that's why we got to make sure that we put ourselves in the best possible situation so we can have the pick of the litter. And unlike women, men don't have a clock. So don't feel like, oh man, I'm 25, I need to hurry up and get married. Oh man, I'm 35, I need to get married. Nope. Wherever you are as a man, just get yourself together, because man, I can name some people. Look how young Ronnie Isley's wife is. Okay. What's that dude from Immature? Look how young his girl is. Like, if they got the right mindset and you got the resources and you got the stick-to-itiveness to do what you got to do as a man, it don't really matter how you think you look and appear. A woman's going to always be attracted to that greatness.
Yep. I think that, because I correct me if I'm wrong, D. The original topic was about the power of words.
Yeah, hey, I ain't gonna front, I ain't gonna lie. I forgot what it was until Lee started talking. I'm like, power with a tongue. Forgive me. All right, so with that being said, Leader said something at the end about getting ready. So in addition to getting ready, that's where I am in my life right now. So with that being said, some of the people know my work history. Within the past, it's been like 2 years now. Well, a year and a half. You know that I put some hands and feet on some people at work. They know I had another situation at another job, but God has actually put me into position. He was actually blessing me during them times, that them trials and tribulations, they turn into blessings at the end of the day. So with it being said, while I was traveling on the road, I was making, I don't really want to get into my finance, but I was definitely making about 4 times what I was making at Sprint. But I say that to say it still wasn't what I wanted to do per se, because it was still a part of my life that I was missing. I want to do more than just going to work. I want to do more than just working to have a lot of money in the bank. I'm like, I want to do something more with my time. So I kept telling myself, I'm like, I want to find something that I'm kind of passionate about. And that where basically, shoot, I can live the way I want to live. I've had a conversation with my mama whenever, I finally got my business off the ground, my second business off the ground. She kept telling me, I'm like, you need to go to work. You need to go to work. You need to go to work. I was like, why would I want to go to work for somebody else making X amount of dollars an hour when I can work for myself? I get up when I want to, live how I want. I get to go when I want to. I get to live life how I want to do it. I don't have to answer anybody. So she kept trying to tell me, I'm like, you got to answer somebody. There's always rules or whatever. I'm like, man, we're not talking semantics. I know that I got to abide by the rules of God and all this stuff. I know I got to abide by the law. We not talking about that, man. I'm talking about I do stuff when I want to, the way I want to do it. So it was one of the things about speaking it to existence. So before I came home, we're talking about accountability again. Lamar, he told me that he finally got some t-shirt equipment and all this stuff. I'm like, what? You was supposed to have told me that you was gonna do it. I would have pissed in. He said, no. Trail gave me the equipment. So that just put the battery in my back. I told him, I said, look, if you and your wife are very willing to do this full time, I'm coming home next week. You ain't got to say nothing. Get the paperwork done. I'm coming home. He ain't tell me. I'm like, I just came home anyway. And he said that they gave him motivation for them to really to put themselves in a position. And I just told him, I'm just like, honestly, just one of them things that you got to have a game plan. You can't be complacent, stagnant, all this type of stuff. Like, go out and get it. When your steps are really ordered the way that they are supposed to be, and you do everything in your power, man, God go lead you the rest of the way. That's a fact. I am living proof he will make sure you get to where it is that you want to be. Just that simple. And now guess what? I get up whenever I want to get up. And with that being said, I'm making about 5 times as what I was making on the road too. And that was some decent money. So, but I live how I want to live now.
Yes. I think for those of y'all that are not in this place just yet, the hardest thing to do is to realize and understand truth. What do I mean by that? And there's negativity in each and every last one of us. Negativity. And in order to be able to receive that good crop, you got to make sure that, 1, you have a good seed, 2, you're sowing into good ground. Sowing into good ground. And sometimes we have a hard time with the truth. It's as simple as that. Because the truth of the matter is, you might want to do what it is that we're talking about, but fear is holding you back. As simple as that. That is the truth of the matter. Or you might not be afraid to actually do anything of that particular nature. You might have other things that's holding you back. These are things that we have to literally look at, consider within ourselves. Go ahead, Doc.
Fear is false evidence appearing real.
Let's say it one more time.
I know somebody done heard that, but you need to hear it again. Fear is false evidence appearing real. The mind is the workshop of the enemy. And if you think of the word enemy, you've always been taught to think that the entity that's keeping us from our greatness is something totally separate from us, but that couldn't been anything further than a lie, because the enemy is usually the inner me. I'm going to say that again. The enemy is usually the inner, I-N-N-E-R, me, because you prevent yourself so many times from the greatness that you have. Now, one of the common problems that I see happening from people, and this is why you need to be great, because everybody on this earth was put here for some type of ministry in some capacity to somebody else. That doesn't mean standing in a pulpit and preaching. That could be clothing, that could be jewelry, that could be shoes, that could be a litany of different types of things. But when you don't do what you're supposed to do, what happens is you end up getting to a point where it stifles your vision. It stifles your dream. And what you got to remember is, if you're looking at your life and you got a job and you're making a certain amount of money or whatever the case may be, you should be trying to scale back as much as you can and do without as much as you can so that you can fund your vision. Even if you're not ready to do your vision, have some discipline and save up for your vision. They say have 6 months worth of income saved, have 12 months of income saved. Find out how you can do those types of things. A lot of you cats don't know that there's this thing called FMLA, and that is a leave of absence from your job after you've been there for a certain time, where you can actually take 12 weeks of leave unpaid, and your job is guaranteed to be there when you come back. This is an opportunity that you can take advantage of if you're financially equipped to be able to do it. And give yourself timelines. Look, I'm going to take this 12 weeks of FMLA, and I got enough money put aside for it. So I'm going to take this time, and I'm going to give myself from this time to this time to get it going. And then if I can get it going by this time, I will never have to look back in my life, and I can be free like D. Okay? But if things don't go the way that I want it to go, I know at least I tried, and I can have peace of mind of knowing, if nothing else, I can go back to my job and I can just work out the remainder of my day. But don't be that cat that gets to your retirement age and wish you could have did all of the things that you desired to do. Because if you tell people what you're trying to do, they won't understand what you're trying to do. And even the people that you love, they will choke out that vision because they can't see it for themselves. But if that vision came into your heart privately, then it came to your heart privately for a reason. Nobody else is supposed to understand the inner workings of how that vision is supposed to work out. So you got to make sure that you're keeping that vision close to your chest. You need to go ahead and you need to set out your plan. You need to start saving up money, and you need to put it away and be disciplined about that. That discipline is going to carry you in the tough phases that you're going to go through when you do start your business. So this is practice while you're still on your job. So if you got a job, if you got to cut off the cable, man, if you got to cut down half of your cigarettes, it's something that's draining your money each and every month that if you just cut out. And what I tell people is, for the next 30 to 60 days, don't change your spending patterns. Just save a receipt for everything that you do and put it in a shoebox. And at the end of 60 days, I want you to take two lists, and I want you to take on one side, I want you to put necessity, and then on another side, I want you to take and put want, and then see how much want you're spending on, and see how much need you actually needed to spend, and you will be amazed. A lot of times, people, when they make more money, their cost of living increase, and they just become a richer slave. And these are some of the things that you got to have discipline. And like I said earlier, like Tyson said, discipline is doing the things that you don't want to do, like you love doing it. And you got to see past the circumstance, and you got to have joy in the situation so that when you come to the other side, you can rejoice. That means have joy again. So you got to have a passion and a joy about the process that it takes to get you to the place that you want to get to, and stop thinking about the pain and the anguish that you're going to have to deal with when you're going through something to get where you're supposed to go. You're not even supposed to be looking at your circumstances. You're supposed to be looking and keeping your eyes on the prize. That's supposed to keep you going. Just like when I say about my kids, no matter what I'm going through or dealing with, when I was sick, I'm going to put this out here. When I was sick a few years ago and I had a hole in my stomach and I didn't know I had a hole in my stomach, man, I was working all the way up until, and even when I got into the hospital, I was still the #1 salesman in Virginia. But you know why? Because I'm not going to allow anything to be an excuse, because any type of resistance that comes into my life is a strengthening opportunity. You're never going to get stronger if you don't have some type of resistance. So you need to give the enemy a different reaction when you're facing circumstances. So when I face circumstances, if you could see me a fly on the wall, when I get a circumstance, I'm like, yes, let's go. Come on, let's go. Now, maybe I was taught that by Coach Tressel at Ohio State, but I learned that you must relish those trials and tribulations, because you know that the enemy knows that it's something that's coming ahead that's trying to keep you. And the hardest part about the race is starting and finishing. It's easy throughout the race. That's the easiest part. But starting something and finishing something is going to be the toughest thing. And you need the discipline and the stick-to-itiveness to do it.
Shit, I feel you on Vic.
That is said a mouthful. Said a whole mouthful. Y'all have to I have to apologize. Can y'all hear me? Y'all hear me straight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to apologize. My internet is doggone acting a fool, so I had to switch over to my phone real quick. Luckily, we was able to stay up and going. So as soon as I figure this out, I have my video and stuff back on. But like I said, Lee, you literally said a mouthful, and I hope that everyone was listening and grasped the concepts that you were talking about, because these are things that need to be applied. Need to be applied really in all our lives, in each and every last one of our lives. So, you know, the power that we have, not just in our and what it is that we say. We have to be careful about what it is that we think as well.
Put your thoughts on a leash.
Yes. Yes, because most times the things that it is that you think about is going to be the things that come out of your mouth. It's quite frankly, in the process of manifesting the things that we speak, the only thing is our mind and what's coming out of our mouth is agreeing with each other. They're literally agreeing with each other. And giving it the power to be able to manifest. So we have to be careful about what it is that we literally think about. And I know that everybody were out there saying, how in the world can I control what it is that I'm thinking about? There are ways. There are ways. If you sit there and you're thinking about something negative over and over and over again, guess what's going to happen to your persona? It is going to become negative. And this comes with learning and knowing yourself. I didn't say knowing your husband or your significant other knowing you. I'm talking about you knowing yourself. Have to know yourself. What can you do? What can you listen to? What takes you to that happy place? Hate to say it that way. It sounds like some old Disney type stuff. But what takes you to that happy place? What makes you happy? And quite frankly, you're saying in your head, you're a significant other. I'm going to need you to find something else. I'm so serious. Because if it's your significant other that's the only thing that makes you happy, guess what's going to happen in the moments when they don't make you happy? What is your source then? Yeah, some people will say, well, it's the Most High or it's God and things. Yes, that all sounds very good. Sounds very good. But when you're in the moments where you can't feel what it is that you are accustomed to doggone feeling, whether it's from the universe, the Most High, or whatever it is that you are accustomed to, what makes you happy? What gets you to that place? What brings you back to that positive state? And the only way for you to find out is to know thyself. We don't talk about it enough. Self-love is so important. It's one of the most important things that we have to do for ourselves. And there's a difference between self-love and being self-centered. The difference. But you have to learn how to love yourself, because quite frankly, how can I expect someone to love me more than I love myself? So quite frankly, sometimes the issue that it is that we might have with our significant other, and we're sitting back feeling like they don't love us the way we feel like we should be loved or need to be loved, look within yourself. Look within yourself. Maybe, just maybe, you have peaked. You've peaked.
You know, King, I want to share two things on this subject, if I may, if I have your permission.
You're fine. Go ahead.
All right. So this is for people. I want to cover the basics. Okay. The first 5 books of the Bible and the first 5 books of the Bible, Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Okay. You'll find those in the Quran. So I know that most of the people that listen to this, typically in some kind of fashion, they follow the Quran or they follow the Bible. But then there are some people that they don't follow either. And so I want to also institute the universal laws. So I want to make sure I cover everybody. And I want to make sure people understand the power of what you think and what you say. All right. So let's look at the universal law. Okay, it's 12 universal laws, and the law of attraction is this law introduces things, people, or events into our lives by our actions, our thoughts, and emotions. So a lot of people think it's life and death in the power of the tongue, but you can think something into existence too that you never speak, because your thoughts carry a power. Okay, so that's why King was telling you earlier, you know, you gotta check your thoughts. And I said, you got to put your thoughts on a leash. Don't allow yourself to even elaborate on anything in your life at all that is negative. If it has to be negative in your mind, you need to choke that out. You need to rebuke that. You need to cast that out. Nothing lives in your body that's negative. Okay. I believe, and I can go into detail, but I believe that negative thoughts can bring cancer to your life. Okay? So as I was saying, all these thoughts are energies that we use to attract more energy. Now, by producing positive energy, we'll attract other positive things. The law brings people with similar interests together. So like an example of that would be people with similar interests, such as being a fan of a similar football club, would bring them closer as there is a connection made. You see all of the tension with racism and everything. But go to a daggone football game or sporting event, and you'll see black people and white people high-fiving each other and acting like they're having the best time ever. It's because these commonalities work like that, or hoping or wishing for the same thing. When we start talking about biblically, we start using seed time and harvest. So when we start using seed time and harvest, it goes cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease. Sow for yourselves righteousness, reap steadfast love, break up your fallow ground. For it is the time to seek the Most High, that he may come and rain righteousness upon you. So really and truthfully, at the end of the day, all I'm saying is, whatever your belief system is, whatever your processes are, no one can deny and no one can dispute that the things that you have in your thoughts, if you allow them to stay there, it's going to apply so much pressure that you're going to get it out verbally. But even if you don't get that stuff out of you verbally, your thought process is just going to, because you are a magnet. That's why the scripture says, keep your mind on him. He'll keep you in perfect peace, and all things will be added unto thee. Good measures pressed down, shaken together, running over, man, given unto your bosom. And the reason why that's the case is because we work inside of us. Our spirits are energy, and our spirits there's an electricity inside of us. Don't believe it? They got a monitor at CVS, Walgreens that can measure the electricity in your body. You are made to attract certain things. And whether you're trying to or not, you're going to attract it. You don't like what you're attracting in your life, I guarantee you it has everything to do with the way you're speaking, the way you're thinking. Those things are all tied together. So if you have to be the parent of your life, and you have to check every little incremental thing at all times. You don't have time to be living unconsciously, going through the motions. Some people are walking around here clinically dead because they're just going through the motions. You have to have some thoughtfulness into your life, and you have to sometimes initiate and spark positivity and thoughts in your life so you can create a trailblaze of positivity that you're drawn to. You want people to sow into you. You don't understand why people are getting money sold into them. You don't understand why you're not having all of these people sowing into his life and they ain't asking for nothing in return. And yet you sit there and you find yourself looking at the situation like, how come nobody come up and give me any money? How come nobody come up and give me opportunities? And then an opportunity will come, a blessing will come, and it don't look like you think it's supposed to look. And so you cast it out because you think the Most High is supposed to bless you with a Bentley, and here he comes with a brand new Honda Accord, and you say, no, that's not what my blessing's supposed to look like. And you don't even know where that Honda Accord is supposed to be taking you to. So you got to make sure that you are open and sensitive. You have to turn the volume down on the world, and you have to turn the volume up in the spirit. There is nothing, as we say today, the streets ain't for you. There's nothing out here in this world that's for you. You need to be trying to get in tune with that inner self, that spirit that wants to lead you into all truth. That is your journey that you're going to have to work out, and you have to work out your own salvation. You can't depend on somebody to take you there. And for you scriptural Bible thumping readers, it tells you, and I believe 3 John chapter 27, I believe, it talks about you need no one to teach you, but he sent a comforter for you. So everything is written on the linings of your heart. You already know what's up. You already know what you're supposed to do. but you allow these negative thoughts to dominate you, and you become an aura and a magnet for all of the negativity that you don't want in your life. You got to understand this process, and you got to understand the most powerful muscle in your body is your brain. Period.
Exactly. Exactly. The most powerful muscle in your body is your brain. Unfortunately, we need to use, well, I ain't gonna say unfortunately, we need to utilize it more than what we already do. It's as simple as that. We need to utilize our minds, we need to utilize our brains way more than what we already do. It's as simple as that. Control your thoughts. You can control your thoughts, and you control what comes out of your mouth. Like Rita said it in the comments, you can't control it. She said your parents always said, think before you speak. This is true. This is true. When you have a lot of people nowadays, that's just how I talk. No. No. That is not it. That is not it. And you have the ability to control your thoughts and consider what is going to be said prior to it being said. Simple as that. It doesn't get any easier than that. And once you understand, and that based off of the thoughts that you think and the words that actually come out of your mouth has the ability to bring either positivity or negativity, you'll understand why so many things that are negative happens in your life. And then I don't even want to talk about the action, because we think a thing, we speak a thing, and most times those things we begin to act on. Literally begin to act on them. And once we begin to act on them, we are no more than pushing ourselves along that path, and that will put us in a position that we don't want to be in at all. We don't want it all going to be in it. We see it all the time in life. All the time. Person think a thing, they start speaking it, the next thing you know, they are operating in it. You start thinking, how am I going to pay this bill right here? The next thing you do is, I ain't got the money to pay this bill. Then you start operating in it. Literally start operating in it. And it sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, this is exactly what it is. It's exactly what has been a hindrance in our lives. We do it, man. This whole war between men and women, you hear people say it all the time. We just don't understand each other, or we're not capable of being able to understand each other. We're not capable of being able to understand each other because of the common agreement that we keep thinking and speaking out of our doggone mouth. And then we're doing nothing but acting on it. That is it. Ladies, we don't understand you because of the thoughts that are in our heads and the words that actually come out of our doggone mouths, and how we respond to it, and vice versa. And vice versa. I talked about it last night in reference to everything being interdependent upon each other. Everything. Do you think nature does not know, does not have the knowledge or the understanding of why it has the roles that it actually has? It does. It is for that reason that when the lion comes out, that antelope, it's the first thing that dog will do. It'll take off running because it understands I am food. I am food. It is not sitting back, chilling there talking about, I just don't understand why this lion wants to eat me. It is already understood that I am food. I need the break count. It's simple as that. But we, on the other hand, there's no effort, there's no real desire put into understanding. And quite frankly, the only way for us to change, I'm not even going to say the only way, the way for us to change the narrative on this is to listen to the logic of what we are both saying, hear the heart of the matter, and then respond appropriately. I'm not talking about what it is that comes out of your mouth. I'm talking about by your actions. Because if you notice what I just said, it's the exact same thing. We need you to listen, which requires you to use your mind so you can think logically. Then we need you to hear the heart of the matter. The heart of the matter on what is being spoken. Then we need you to respond. Not based off of what it is that come out of your mouth, but literally based off of your actions. And I assure you that understanding that society and everyone has accepted that we just don't understand each other. Men are, what is it? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Mm-hmm.
No, no. We have a greater understanding of each other than what we think we do. Than what we think we do. The same thing, we go through the exact same things. Exact same things. Just there are certain things that are different. Certain things that are different. But the vast majority is the exact same. The majority of the differences between us and what it is that we actually go through has to do with the physical. But up here, it's the exact same. We just process things a tad bit different. But if we took out the time to understand how we actually process things, that is when that understanding is going to come in. But the issue and the problem that we are having for both men and both women is that we have become, and we are suffering from, rather, emotional hearing loss. Emotional hearing loss. We are so close. We are so close to the situation that we can't see clearly what it is. If you don't understand what it is that I'm talking about, you got a dollar bill. I just want you to set it right on top of your eyes and see if you can read it. See if you can read it. That's what's happening with our emotions. Situations that are going on, that have gone on within our lives in reference to both men and women. We are this close to it. It's sitting right on our doggone eyes from an emotional standpoint, and it's making it impossible for us to be able to see or to hear what either side is actually saying, which is the reason why we both need to take a step back. Some might even have to take 2 or 3 steps back But however many steps that we need to take in order to be able to see things clearly. See things clearly. And it's going to require some yielding of the emotions on both ends.
Somebody gonna catch their breakthrough just from that information right there. That's true. Man, what's the old saying? Uh, you know, what you're looking for is usually right underneath your nose.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta, Martin Luther King. You love saying this. Tell them you're saying that you love from Martin Luther King.
My saying?
Yeah, about the house.
Oh man, you talking about the fact that we have attached ourselves to a burning house, and we need to get up out of it. You know, we can literally put out the flames from the outside. We ain't got to be on the inside. You know, matter of fact, you don't put out flames from the inside. When the whole house is on on fire, you get to safety. You get to safety, and then you try and put them flames out and salvage whatever is doggone left. It's as simple as that. It is as simple as that.
Gotta get outside and you gotta get an outside look at what's going on inside. The only way you're gonna be able to do that is you're gonna have to take some time. You're gonna have to pray and you're gonna have to meditate, or whatever it is that you do, you're going to have to take time and you're going to have to reflect. And so many times, man, we don't take the time out to reflect. It's wake up, get going. And that's part of it. But you got to know where you're going. You said it earlier about the prey and I think you were talking about the prey and the predator. It made me think of the old African proverb that I learned in college. My coach used to tell me about this. He said, every morning a lion wakes up. It doesn't have to be the fastest lion, but it's got to be faster than the slowest gazelle. And every morning the gazelle wakes up, the gazelle knows it has to get running. It doesn't have to be the fastest gazelle, but it has to be faster than the fastest lion that's chasing. So no matter whether you're a lion or you're a gazelle, no matter whether you're the predator or you're the prey, when morning comes, your ass better get running.
I like that. Oh man, I like that. That's something else. All right, so we coming to around about that time. We can go ahead and place our final thoughts. Low key, I'm super excited because we coming to the end of this show. Although it's a great show, I am super excited about tomorrow because we're gonna have some females. What are their names?
Shadana and Chastity.
Shadana and Chastity. This is going to be interesting. Just because her name is Chastity, this is going to be very.
Get your Chastity bill.
Leave the pants in the pants.
Oh man, but this is going to be interesting. I'm super excited. You know, this is something that people have been calling for a good little while. We needed to set the premise or whatnot, build a foundation before we got to this particular point. But that foundation, I believe, is pretty solidified right now. So we ready to doggone move forward. Really, move forward. I want to thank Eureka for asking that question last night on the at the book release party or whatnot. Now I officially have to address that probably over the next month. But you will get your answer. You will get your answer. Or not. It's about that time either way. Either way. So we're going to go into our final thoughts. Who want to go first?
right. All right. I'll be short. I'm gonna be short this time. All right. Watch what you think. Watch what you say. Whether you a predator, whether you a prey, get that ass up and run any damn way. Period. That's it. That's it.
Oh man, I like that.
There's a song called I Am by Life Jennings. And then the chorus he says, watch the words you say, because the angels follow your direction. With that being said, watch what you put out in the universe. And if you want something, work for it. Come up with your goals, your game plans, and all that stuff and work for it. Just that simple. It does not have to be overly complicated to achieve your dreams.
Not at all. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna keep mine short as well. Obedience. Obedience is the activation of your faith. And with all of it, faith and obedience, it starts here in the mind. And it is activated by what it is that you say out of your mouth. Be mindful. Be mindful. Control the thoughts. You have the ability to. You have the ability to. If everything that we're talking about is going to help bring an end to this Cold War between men and women. We got to change how we think about each other. Because if we change how we think about each other, it would change how we speak to each other. And in return, how we literally function and operate with each other. So just be mindful. You already know what time it is. We got to bring this thing to an end. Like always, I got to say thank you. Thank you to everybody that was actually on today, watched and listened, commented, the whole nine. We will be back at it tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, on 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I can't wait. It's gonna go up, man. I don't even know what the topic is gonna be. I just know we're gonna have fun with it, or not. Definitely got to give a shout out to the Frequency. Make sure you go like, follow, and share the Frequency CO. Make sure you also go and check out GMAP 1.com, the website, or not. You will be able to see Can I Be the Man as a featured book on their site, as well as being able to see the interview that I actually just did, or whatnot, that'll be coming out next Wednesday. So make sure you go follow that as well. Can I Be the Man? A letter from us to you. If you haven't got it, go get it. Because we're getting deep into this conversation now. And if you ain't read it by now, you're going to end up being lost. You'll end up being lost. So go get it. All right. And just enjoy it. Just enjoy it. I'm not asking you to agree with everything that's in there. Just start the conversation. That's it. Just start the conversation. So we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. Or not, we enjoy you. We thank you. The King has spoken. We are out.